what's going on? I want to welcome you back to the channel. This is Travis P11, and today we're going to be doing a basic field strip and cleaning of this Beretta 92 FS. Now, this is an Italian manufactured Beretta. When it comes to Berettas, I have some experience with them. I qualified for my concealed carry permit with my Beretta 92 FS Inox Compact. Love that gun. Still regret selling it to my dad. Still want to buy it back to this day. Don't know if it's going to happen. But anyway, this particular pistol is on loan to us from Stan, the owner of SS Pawn in Lexington, Nebraska. And guys, Stan is one of the reasons why I'm able to bring you all these cool videos. He loans me firearms from his private collection. I clean them, I shoot them, I clean them and take them back to him. One thing I'm going to do a little bit differently is I think, since I'm going to be cleaning it, obviously, you know, we're going to make a video, but I think I'm going to do a tabletop review, and I'm going to tabletop review this versus the Taurus PT92. So that'll be coming up after I do the range test of this particular pistol. Love the Berettas. They're very smooth shooters. They're very accurate. It makes a great kind of all-around range gun, home defense gun. I mean, if it's good enough for the nation's military, it should be good enough for you. So I think what we'll do is go ahead and get started. Before we even touch the firearm, though, I just want to show you some of the basic supplies. Since a Beretta can be one of those first pistols for a lot of people, these are some supplies that might make your life a little bit easier when it comes to maintaining and cleaning it. We've got some soft bore brushes. We've got some patches, some Q-tips, a little bit of CLP and some rem oil. And this always makes life so much easier. A little bit of Black Rifle Coffee Company caffeinated S blend. You thought I was going to say it, didn't you? No. I told you, I keep my channel family friendly, right? I try not to use any vulgar language or anything obscene. I try to keep it so that, you know, anybody can enjoy my videos. Yeah, my channel's listed as restricted by YouTube. Go figure. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing you want to do is ensure that the pistol is unloaded. Okay, obviously we got a empty mag. Check the chamber. Pull back. All right, piece of cake. What we're going to go ahead and do next is go ahead and disassemble the slide. To do so, we're going to lock the slide in a rearward position. So just pull back on the top of the slide and push up on the slide lever right here. It's going to lock for you, okay? Should be locked in place. And then right here, what you want to do is you're going to want to push this button and pull down on this slide release tab, slide release, I don't know what you want to call it, disassembly lever, I guess. I'm not a gunsmith, guys. I apologize. I'm just an internet gun expert, and that's it. And then what you want to do is go ahead and just release the slide. Hold on to it. It's going to be under pressure. And just take the slide right off. There's a few subtle differences with this pistol versus my 92 FS compact, but not a lot. I guess I should say my dad's 92 FS compact. If you've ever handled a Stoeger Cougar pistol before, or a Beretta Cougar, you're probably already familiar with the platform, so it's really not too complicated. It's a very easy gun to work with. So first thing we're going to go ahead and do is just give the mags a quick little spray down and wipe off. Now this particular pistol, according to Stan, only has about 50 rounds through it. It shows very, very little slide wear whatsoever. The rails look like they're in great condition. There's hardly no magazine. There's like no wear at all on the finish of the magazine, which doesn't matter. You can put thousands and thousands of rounds through these things, and they're very capable and they're great pistols. Just out of the box, guys, I got to recommend one as a perfect first starter pistol. And if you look around, I mean, you can buy surplus 92Ss for, what, $300, $400, $300 if you look around. Sometimes you can get these Berettas on sale for, oh, I don't know what, maybe $500, $550 possibly. The thing is, there's so many variants of this particular gun. I'm not always sure about the prices. Hold on, coffee break. That's my moment is in. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and continue. Spray down the top with a little bit of rem oil. Now you can take a brush to this if you want to, a soft brush or like an old toothbrush, just to wipe out some of the deposits. Just start wiping it off. It's really not that bad. You know, it's got a nice thick coating on it, so the finish, I don't say it's necessarily resistant to getting dirty, but it does clean up really nice. It is definitely not bad. Really good shape. Again, we just kind of go around every little surface area. And again, the nice thing about rem oil is that it leaves very little residue on the gun itself. Very heavy duty, beefy chassis, as you can see here. Got your dual rails right here. This is all either steel or aluminum. Rear also, okay, integrated into the handle. And you know, there's a million accessories for these guns that you can get. Now this one, I believe, just kind of what I'm finding on the packaging and so on, I believe that this particular 92 was assembled in 2009, if I'm not mistaken. That's what it looks like on some of the packaging. I could be wrong. And you know, sometimes they make small changes to these guns in the production run and so on, but this guy's really, really good shape. Another thing I like to do is just have some Q-tips handy. Like I said before, they really make it easy to get into some of the cracks and crevices. It's always nice to have some Q-tips handy so you can kind of get through those rails and get some of the grime out and get in there behind the hammer. You'd be surprised just kind of the buildup you can get in some of these little hard to reach areas if you're not careful when it comes to cleaning your gun off. Again, you know, and again, you just clean your gun as much as you think you need to. I tend to go through the whole pistol, probably more than I need to. But part of it is I'm setting the gun up so when I give it back to Stan, you know, it's going to be obviously nice and clean. And, you know, the better job you do with the cleaning, in my opinion, the easier it is to clean it after that. Seems like you get kind of a nice little protective layer of oil on there. And this thing is really in pristine shape. It's in very good shape. Another thing I like to do, and you've seen this in my videos before, is we like to put a little bit of either rem oil or some CLP on a patch or two. And go ahead and run that in through your magazine well in your pistol grip. And sometimes you get a little bit of a buildup in there too. I'm still waiting for that free case of rem oil from Remington, guys. I use enough of your product. You need to hook me up already. All right. Kind of go through there and wipe everything out. And you get lots of accessories for this particular pistol. You can really customize it. Lots of different grips that are out there. Just all kinds of fun stuff. Now this particular one does not have the rail. You can get them with the tactical rail. My 92FS Inox did have a rail on it, and one of the reasons why I bought it was because it was essentially a home defense gun, range gun. Problem with that 92FS is I love the finish on it so much. I never wanted to mar it. I never wanted anything to happen to it. Got a great deal on it. I think I paid like 609 bucks. Got it on sale at Cabela's. I think they're normally, I'm not kidding, I think they sell them for like $679. Now, this guide rod and spring is not a captive unit, which means when you pull the guide rod out, the spring could shoot off on the end, so just be careful. Put a little pressure on it, just let it out. This is a polymer guide rod. I don't know what those are rated, how many rounds people put through them before they change them out. You know, you can always get yourself a nice stainless unit if you want to. I would almost recommend it just because anytime I've ever put that in my gun, and I've done it in 2 or 3 now, the pistols perform just so much better. It just seems like a stainless steel guide rod, a lot more rigid. Generally, you get those with new springs also, or you can get them with newer springs, better springs. That'll help dampen the recoil and just make the gun a lot more responsive. So, possible upgrade for you. I don't know if I should be making these suggestions after you just brought your pristine 92 home from the gun dealer. Okay, now we'll go ahead and just pull the barrel out. A little bit different. You kind of have this like cam here, this locking lug. Doesn't really change a whole lot. You just have to be careful that nothing pops out. If it does, just essentially make sure this little pin just falls back into place, and you should be basically all set to go. So, all right, what we're gonna do is what I like to call marinating the barrel. Just gonna go ahead and pour a little bit of, spray a little bit of CLP down the barrel here. And then we just wipe a little bit on the outside, let it kind of soak in for a minute or two as we clean out the inside of the slide. You'll just be surprised how easy it is to wipe off residue and gunpowder and all that other fun stuff from this when you get in. There's a little bit of polishing there on the feed ramp, which is kind of nice. You can maybe do a little bit better job on it yourself if you feel comfortable with your firearms. Grab a towel here real quick. All right, so we're just gonna let that sit off to the side for a minute. Okay, so to clean your bore out, you know, we've let the barrel just kind of sit for a little while and soak in there. Just going to go ahead and run a soft brush through it a couple times. I'm going to go from both ends because this is a longer barrel than what I usually shoot with. I'm not sure exactly if it's like 5 1/4 inch barrel maybe. I could be wrong, 5 1/2 inch. All right. And we'll just go ahead and put a little, now we just got a little bit larger nylon brush that goes all the way through. Again, it's nice to have a clean barrel. No problems there. Okay, good there. Let's see here. I think what we'll do is we'll run a patch with some rem oil through it, like I always do. Just go ahead and spray that on there. There you go. And you always want to make sure you take a look at that barrel. Make sure there's no buildup inside of it. You don't see any more burned powder, no more little chunks or fragments of anything in there. You want a nice, shiny, smooth, clean barrel. Yeah, it's a little dirty, isn't it? Yeah. I usually go back the other way too. It doesn't hurt nothing if you do. Okay, let's go through it one more time with this patch. Then I'll usually, sometimes you can run a dry patch through it. If you've been putting a lot of oil through it and you're scrubbing it and stuff, it's good just to soak everything up in the barrel. Okay, let's get this real quick here. All right. Like I said, I'm very excited to take this to the range. It's going to be very cool. These are always fun to shoot. They're always smooth shooters. And it's going to be a little bit bittersweet having to give this one back because I still miss my 92FS, which I'll probably not buying back someday for my dad. But, okay, the barrel's nice and clean. I don't know if you can see that. Let's get that in focus for you. Nice and shiny. You can see the rifling in there. It's good to go. Okay, now we're gonna do is just put a little coat of CLP on the exterior. Now I did put a little bit of CLP in the rails to the slide. Okay, so go ahead and wipe this off. Make sure you get a little bit down here in these ridges where these tracks are, rails, whatever you want to call them. Make sure you got everything wiped off. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Looks good. Okay, all right, we'll go ahead and move on to the next step. And we're gonna bring the slide down. Again, cut out, there's so much less that you need to clean. These guns really are smooth shooters. I mean, I was just, when I did my qualifications for my concealed carry permit, it was just so easy to hit right on target with. I mean, it was awesome gun, just love it. Trigger's not bad, you know, you got to get used to kind of the whole single action, double action thing, but really it's not bad. So it's a little more dirty. So we're gonna spend a little more time on that slide, I think. Let's get a Q-tip here. Hit it with some CLP. There we go. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. It's kind of tough getting an all black gun to show up easily on camera. You get sometimes some contrasting and it just kind of disappears or whatever. Just, you know, the gun just kind of blends in with itself. But it's really not that bad. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and just go through that. I always go through the rails too. You'd be surprised on the crud that builds up on the rails. Just hit that with the Q-tip. Every little nook and cranny, just hit it. Get that all taken care of. At least it has a little bit of oil on it. Trust me, it's just that much easier to clean the next time around. Let's see here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and just turn the camera off and just keep cleaning this off for a few minutes. No sense in boring you with that. And then what I think we'll do is just go ahead and do a little reassembly. Make sure you wipe back here, kind of in this area where your, I guess you could say your striker. I know it's a hammer fired gun, but where your firing pin is and so on. And just kind of get through every little nook and cranny with the Q-tip and get in there and get that little port cleaned out where your barrel goes through. And guys, we'll come back in a second for reassembly. All right, so hang tight. Okay, now for reassembly, it's not a big deal. This just kind of caught me off guard the first time I reassembled it. You know, you got this little lug here that moves. Just go ahead and hold the slide in your left hand or right hand. Just slide your barrel in. It should just lock right into place. Make sure this little cam right here is not sticking up. Make sure that's down. Okay, no big deal there. Okay, go ahead and put your guide rod and spring back together. And you want the shaft end to be just poking out this way with the blunt end poking towards the rear of the barrel. There's a little rounded kind of rest area right here that you can put that guide rod in. Okay, so go ahead and just push that in. It's got a little bit of tension, but nothing too bad. I've had way tougher guns than this. Okay, no problems there. Okay, we got that all done. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and move on to reassembly with the slide with your lower. Okay, now to go ahead and reattach, you just go ahead and take your lower and put your slide up on the top. Make sure your tracks line up with your rails. Okay, no problems there. We're just essentially going to pull back as far as we can and then flip up on this little slide release tab and just let the slide go back to its natural lock position, and that's basically it. So just pull back. And that's it. That's all you got to do. It's that simple. Okay, go back and watch that if you need to. Just the main key is to flick that back up when you get done so the slide locks into place. Now it's going to have the hammer back. You can use your decocking lever if you want to, okay, or you can simply pull the trigger and release the hammer. Okay, it's up to you. No problems. You can see how that decocker works. You definitely want to become familiar with the firearm, obviously, before you take it to the range. You want to read the manual, get yourself comfortable with it, and so on. They really are great pistols. And, you know, I got nothing against Glocks. I love my Glock 17. Just put 200 rounds of freedom munitions through it. But again, the Berettas are just fun guns. It's one of those guns I grew up with as a kid. It was always in all the movies and TV shows and stuff. And they're just kind of was just fascinated by the cutaway on the top of the barrel. I love the design. So we'll get this out to the range in a few days. Okay, we'll test it and see how it performs. I think when I do a head-to-head, I'm just going to do a tabletop review. I don't think I'll take the 92 to the range because I've done a whole shooting video on the 92 already. Although I will be shooting freedom munitions with this gun, and with the 92 I did use federal brass, but I got a feeling we're going to get some very similar results in accuracy, so we'll see how it turns out. So there you go, guys. I want to thank you for joining me today on the channel. Hopefully I didn't leave any details out. You know, you can always go back over your gun with Q-tips and patches and clean it up as much as you want to, or you can just shoot it and put it back in the vault, whatever works for you, right? Or put it next to your bedside if it's your bedside gun. That's the way you should do it. So, all right, guys, I want to thank you for tuning in today. You can check me out over on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. I'm also on gunchannels.com with the Ordinary Average Guy Gun Channel. And we'll be bringing you a lot more videos, okay? So I want you guys to have a great rest of the week, okay? I want you guys to have fun and be safe. And as you know, okay, we will talk to you soon. All right, take care, guys. Bye.